Hey, welcome back everybody. This is episode 20 of my Crafting Paradise Let's Play series. And I wanted to give you guys an update first about this UU matter that we need to make the quantum armor. I calculated we need altogether 40 pieces of iridium to make that whole set. And we have 3, so we need 37, and every one of them I did in a test world. I set up these other 3 machines to make the iridium, and every piece costs 1 million AU and 22 buckets of this UU matter. We only have 8. Granted, because it's single player, when I'm not playing on here, nothing is happening. It's, not chunk loaded or anything. So I will make sure to AFK or something to make sure that we generate more. But 814 buckets regardless is gonna take at least a few days. But I did some testing and I think that we can speed up this production a lot. Another research. I have one overclocker in here, and you guys see there's always a short break where there's no cobble. So this thing is actually faster than I can give it cobble. And in the testing world, I added a second igneous extruder right here. Output to the back. And let's get this started. And then we can put a second overclocker in here. And it just produces just tiny little bit faster, the cobble than it's actually processing it. And I let this run for a while watching it, and there was sometimes a couple of scrap in a row going in here. So speeding this up, there's a lot more scrap coming in. Sometimes there was like 20 plus seconds where there was always a scrap in here. It's still random, of course. It's just a luck chance. But overall, this should speed it up a lot. And another thing I'm going to look into, but I'm going to do that between episodes because I'm going to need a lot of calculating and testing because this guy can't keep up. So what I would like to do is, I think I said this produces 440 EU a tick. Figure out setting up either some regular furnaces or geothermals, depending on which numbers are going to get closer to 512. And then separating the recycler out and setting up its own power for the recycler. And so this guy here has as close to 512 to himself as much as possible. So because after a few hours we're going to run out of power, and then this is going to slow down even more. So I want to set something up, figure out, I'm pretty sure we're going to set it up together, but I got to do a lot of testing first. And then, because we need 814 buckets, once this one is getting close to getting full, I'm gonna, in whatever episode that's gonna be, 1, 2, 3 down the line, then we're gonna set up these 3 machines over here. I figured out how they work. They're quite funky, but, and like I said, one of them needs 1 million EU per iridium also, and it can take up to, I think that one can take up to 2048, so that is, I think it's called extreme voltage. So I was thinking of also getting then that replicator, that's what that machine is called, its own power source. But I'm not sure yet what we're going to use for that. I was kind of thinking of maybe making a solar array. Because that guy, I don't really care if it doesn't run constantly. Because once it turns on, we're not going to produce UU matter fast enough for this guy to use it. So if, for example, it would only run during the day, when the solar array is getting light, Yeah, I think it's fine, but I'm gonna figure out what would be the best because I don't really want to have to up the lava production or put more stress on our blaze farm that it's already having, just to make these pieces, and then afterwards we don't need it anymore. So this is set up, this is working now, and now we head back to the workshop. If you guys have any recommendation or any ideas on what else we could do to speed this up, because I'd like to turn that quest in, because that armor would be nice to have for building, and we're gonna have to do a lot more building. And I made the other, we only had, I forgot now how many we had. I think 12 or something like that. I made the rest up to 32. So now we can turn in the ME odds and ends quest, and we get a lot more stuff here. I went over to the factory and took down the pattern encoder and the crafting monitor and the Mac and all these patterns, and I put them in here, and we can reuse these patterns. Unfortunately, you can't unwrite them or take the recipe off so they don't stack. But let's turn this in. Which one of these is worth more crafting or pattern provider? I gotta check, guys. Craftings. That's the diamond one, right? That just takes a long time, but it's cheap. And the pattern provider also, yeah. So I'm gonna take the pattern providers because that costs more, a lot more. So let's take those, and then we can make the crafting CPUs ourselves, however many we want. I don't even know if we need the pattern providers. How many patterns are we gonna have? With the one we have, there will be 7 pages if we make it the full size. Well, let's just take it. It's worth more. You can always make a few more of these. Okay. I'm gonna... Well, let's go down here real quick. I was thinking of setting that up right here. Expand this a little more and put it there. And then cable it up, and then we hook up the connection to the logistics pipes together. And then we can set up the first few patterns. And then after that, once the ME system is hooked up, we are going to make these and turn that quest in. And then after that, I thought that today we are going to make... No, we're gonna start with blood magic. Sorry. Botania. I just saw the orb down here, and that's why I had blood magic in my head. We're gonna start with Botania because I know that in Remixing Paradise there's some things we need Botania for, and we haven't done that yet, so we're gonna do that afterwards. So let me get ready and set up this Mac area here and change the biome out because we just finished that, and then we got a couple more quests to turn in. Be right back. Okay guys, it's been a whole day since I cut the recording and started building these machines, and it took a lot longer than I expected. It was a lot to craft, and I also had to temporarily set up the laser array here, and I just slapped that down right here for the time being, and then put it back down, tore it back down and put it away. I want to find a nice spot to set this up permanently, but there's not enough room on this platform right now. And then I got really tired and I did not want to continue recording, so that's why this video got delayed by a day. I'm sorry about that, but I'd rather feel refreshed like I am now and make a good recording than just rambling and not having a good plain thought and so on. So, but I finished this guy. It has 2 pattern providers, so we still have 5 left. And I had to craft 5 more CPUs, so it was probably the wrong choice to select those from the quest, but oh well. So now we got 6 CPUs and 2 pattern providers in here. So we got plenty of room. I think this is gonna be enough. And it's easily extendable. I can just keep adding storage if I need to. And I needed to craft a few more of these containment walls. I don't remember the number, but okay. And I changed this energy conduit out. It was a hardened, and I put it up to redstone, so both of them can get the full power if that is ever needed. And we had this energy cell left over anyway, so I figured I put this in here for the time being, so the ME has its own energy storage. I think that's okay. So, with the controller, and we're gonna put that right there. It's gonna be in the floor, so I could only access it from the bottom, but I don't see that we ever need to, so I think it's good over here. And put the energy conduits like this, so now this ME system has power. There we go. So it's charging up. And then we need to connect this Mac. And we just go out with a few cables down here. And now this molecular assembly chamber is connected to the network. And we don't have a lot of room upstairs, so I figured I'd put the drive right here. It's connected because it's touching the Mac. If ME blocks touch each other, you don't need to have a cable in between. And I made 2 1K storage drives. I think that is enough for now, because the main storage and so on will all stay in the barrels in the factory. And the pattern provider, I'm gonna put down here next to it. So we can come down, make a pattern, and throw it in here. And I'm gonna move the chest from up there with all those patterns that we still have that need to be overwritten down here, so it's easy access. So down here in the basement, everything is done. I just noticed, look at this. Tank is not full. Huh, I'm gonna have to look into this if we're not making enough lava now. But if we don't, I still have the 5 crucibles over here. I'll check on that in a minute. Let's continue here. We'll go upstairs, and that chest that was here, I took down and sent all the items that were in it back into the network. And right here, that's the last block we're gonna do. We're gonna place a crafting monitor and a crafting terminal. I'm gonna put the terminal on the bottom and the monitor on top of it. And now to connect everything here, I did not change anything on this request logistics pipes. It's still the same. All you do now is place a interface here, an ME interface. And that can talk to the logistics pipes. And now when you look into here, you gotta make sure that you have it set to stored and craftable. I think by default it just shows stored items, so there's nothing, because we don't have anything in the actual ME. But if you do craftable, you see there's all the items that are in the barrels in the logistics network. It doesn't show you how many you have, but that doesn't bother me, because if I really want to know, I just wrench this and then I see exactly how many I have. And it has an advantage, because when you, let me change this to stored and craftable. Let's say we want something like cobblestone. We're going to request 64 cobblestone. And it's going to take a few seconds, like always. But I want to watch it, because I like that. Come on. There it comes. And it goes into the ME system, and then automatically, might not even see them, it's gonna be so fast. Yeah, you don't even see them show up. They go in here, and then you see now we have 64. Did I request stone? Okay, instead of cobblestone. So now we have 64 stone in here, and we can take them out, or we can put them back in. Now, what you need to understand is that this is now in this drive. Okay, 64 was one type in there, and it takes up 16 bytes. So when you craft something and there's excess or whatever, it will always put it back into these drives. Well, what if you don't want to keep it in there because you're like, well, I want to keep my stone where all my stone is. For the time being, I haven't figured out a better system yet. I guess you could set up a bunch of export buses and stuff like that. You just put it back into the ender chest and now it goes back to the barrel. So I see this ME system for now as if I want to automate crafting, this is it. Other than that, all the special stuff I'm gonna keep here for now. So if I need to craft something that takes electrum, I just need to take the electrum and put it in here. And now I have the electrum in there. And eventually I might move all these items that are in here and put it into the ME system, as well as all the parts we have, because we have a lot of stuff. So the ME system knows about it, and if there's a crafting recipe for it, then it has direct access to it. But for now, I'm gonna leave it this way because I wanna test it like this first and make a few recipes. And I figured we're gonna make one recipe here now and use that as our test so you guys can see how that works. If you have written, this one is for the lead or gravel. You put it back in here, you see that what it shows you. You can just clear that. And now let's do something like a piston, which there's a problem because it shows you all the different stones and woods that it can use. So if you press shift question mark, it's gonna put the recipe in here, and if you save it like that, it's gonna look for a pear wood plank, an elder wood plank, and a purple heart, and these different cobblestones here. So it will actually not be able to craft this because it doesn't have those. So some recipes you just need to do manually. And me, for example, I want them to be with oak planks and regular cobblestone. So you can just go in here and overwrite them with the materials you want. This is already regular cobblestone. Now we encode that, and now it changed what is in that pattern. And we put our first pattern in here. So now, of course, and I'm going to show you what happens. If I request a piston, it should request the iron and the redstone and the cobble. We'll see. And it's going to fail saying that it doesn't have wood planks. Right? Let's put enough wood planks in here. And now I want to see if it is. There we go. And now it crafted it, and there's our piston. So I know that later on we're gonna need a lot of stuff auto-crafted because we need to make a few hundred or thousand of those items. So those are the patterns that I'm gonna add here gradually, and we'll see what all we need here. But now we have ME access, we have a molecular assembly chamber, so we can set up these patterns. I think we're good for now. I think this is nice because I really did not want to, you know, tear everything down that we built so far. I really like the logistics pipes, and I know that a lot of people probably say this is, you know, you should have just gone with ME from the beginning. That's true, but I wanted to play with this mod. I haven't used it in many versions, and I enjoy it. But next, what we're gonna do now is, I already loaded it and I completed the biome research. There's a field. Oh yeah, I made an obsidian chest because I think those are really hard to destroy, and because I wanted to put all our patterns up here because I need to change these so often now. All our spatial drives, I mean, and I made a couple research notes. So it's easier to just keep going. And I loaded the field. I remember that had a lot of Botania flowers. So I'm gonna go down here now and collect a bunch of Botania flowers, and then we're gonna go over to our forest over here and start with Botania. So let me go ahead and I'm gonna, you know, try to get every color I can find and pretty much clear almost this entire place here, this field biome, and then I'll see you guys over there. So I farmed up a bunch of flowers and also broke all the grass in the first part of this field biome and dropped off all the roses and berry bushes and stuff I got from it. And I brought this chest over here and put everything in here that I think we'll need for Botania. Bunch of Botania flowers. And also brought seeds because I think we need a lot of those. Brought some cobblestone, stone, wood, and a book. And a sapling. And that's what we're going to get started with. When you look up the crafting recipe for the Lexica Botania, that's the book you'll need. It explains everything really nicely. I had a look at that in a different single player world and played around with it a little bit. It's really good. So we'll make that first. And we got the most important tool from this mod. Okay. And we're gonna go down here because I haven't done much, like I said. And with the basics, well, this one here I think just tells you how to use this book. When you right click with it in your inventory, it always goes back to the last page that you had open. I like that very much. And you can do other recipes that are in this Lexica Botania, or certain spells or transmutations and stuff like that. You can shift left click on it. I found that out, and it's also explained in the book, and that gets you directly to that recipe. It's a really well written book. I like it. So, and it tells you that you find a lot of flowers in the world, and that you can make more by bone mealing grass and so on. And then you how to break them down into petals, which pretty much I don't think that you ever need the actual flower for anything. So you just put them in the crafting grid and you get the petals. And let's see which ones we have the most right now. Right here. Let's just make a few petals of this. Put them in here and you always get 2 per plant. Alright, and then the other thing is I know we'll need is this thing right here, pestle and mortar. So let's make one of these here. Brought enough wood. Okay, and stick in the bowl. I'm sure we have all of the stuff in the chest, but I don't want to go over there right now. Then like this. And there's our pestle and mortar. And you need that to grind these petals down further into dyes. Most of the recipes in this mod pack now, whenever you need dyes, most of the recipes you can use these. So that's really nice. I like that very much about this mod also, because it's very easy to grow these later on. You can, not multiply them, but you can make a lot of new of these flowers through Botania. And so you can have every dye possible as much as you want. So there it just shows it. Okay, but now first thing we need to build is, let's see what the thing is called, Petal Apothecary. And that is like your main workbench. That's where a lot of the magic happens, where you combine things and make new flowers that you need for other processes and so on. And every time you use it, it uses water. So you need to put a bucket of water in it, and then you put the petals in it or whatever else we'll need. I'm not sure if it's only petals. And then you throw in a seed to finalize the process to get back the actual item that you're making. So let's make one of these. Let's just cobble. Take some slabs. Okay, and we need a petal. And it's just 2 slabs on top with the petal in the middle. And then like this. Alright, here we go. We made our first Botania machine, I'm gonna call it now, and I'm gonna place that, I think, right here. Whoa. might put this down once so it's easier to throw stuff into. There we go. And take a bucket and fill it up. So now we got this. You can throw a vine in it, and then it will color it differently. It gives it like a green vinish look. So if you want to have it look different and so on. And now the coolest thing about this mod, I when I saw this first, I'm like, thought it's genius. Whenever there is blocks or anything from Botania, I think even the flowers, when you hold the book in your hand and you hover over this, it shows you what it is. And if you right click now, it goes directly to the page in the book for that item. I think that is absolutely amazing. I love it. Okay, but let's continue here. The first flower we need to do, and it's the most important one, is the pure daisy. And with the pure daisy, we can then make living wood and living rock. And those are two of the main building blocks for everything you do in Botania. And you see right here, you place the flower and you put wood or stone around it. And then after a little while, it turns into this living rock and living wood. So we need to use 4 white petals in the petal apothecary to make 1, and I'd like to make 2 so we can have 1 for wood and 1 for stone. Oh, we got enough, so we need we only need 4 because we get 2 petals. 4, 6, 8, and then we need to get seeds. Get this out of the way here. Okay, so let's make these. You even see the petals inside, and if you throw in a petal wrong, let's just try this. If you shift, let me see, shift left. I thought there was a way of getting them out. Let's see. I think the book tells us. Toss in the full bucket. Oh, I thought there was a way of taking them out. Maybe that's in a newer version. But well, I guess we can do it here. Sorry, so disregard. And let's put 4 in here and 1 seed. And there we go. We got our first pure daisy. Let's make another one. Sorry guys, I'm a little stuffed up. I'm not sure if I'm coming down with something, but you might hear that I'm stuffed up. Alright, here's our second one. Just put another bucket in here to have it ready. And I'm actually going to leave the bucket here so I don't need to take it out of the inventory every time. So where we're going to put this? Also need 8 wood and 8 smooth stone. Doesn't work with cobble. Let's just put them further away so we can put our mana stuff over here. I'm gonna check real quick if this guy has a node. The first 2 trees I took down didn't, but this guy has a node, so I don't want to break this. But I guess we can just put it right here in the corner. So let's do 8 stone and a ring of wood, and then place the 2 pure daisies in here. 1, and then you get these particle effects white. It's actually working on it. That's the indicator. And now it's gonna take about a minute or so, and then these turn into living wood and living rock. And I know that for one quest we're gonna need a lot of living rock, so I'm not sure if it's gonna be possible to automate this in some way, but we'll see. Okay, let's double check here if what else we can continue in this episode. So we got the pure daisy, the runic altar. See here, to utilize the right click, and you need it linked to a mana spreader. Yeah, we cannot make this yet because we gotta make a mana pearl or mana diamond. So we actually have to set up described in here. No, we need to set up a mana pool and a mana spreader first. Okay? I'm not gonna, read these pages here. Most of them I read between episodes or something, but I would definitely recommend you guys reading them. It's short reads and it's very, very, very well written. So, to make an actual plain mana pool, we just need to wait for the living rock. And then what happens is we place the mana pool down. Oh, there, see, you just saw it change. Cool. And I'm gonna get some more wood and rock right now. Take that one down. Go back to my bed. Sleep so we can make it daytime, and then we continue setting up the mana production. I'll be right back, guys. Okay, guys, I took a little sleepy. Emptied my inventory and picked up a gold ingot, which we're gonna need in a second. This. So, what we need to build first, and it's kind of, when you go under mana manipulation and then introduction to mana, it shows you right here that mana can be dispersed utilizing mana spreaders and stored into mana pools. And to get started mastering the art of mana, one would start by learning how to use day blooms, mana spreaders, and mana pools. And it's pretty cool because those are in italic font. So we know we need to read these 2 chapters, and then also the right here with the day bloom. But we'll start with the mana pool, which we need those 5 living rocks to build. So we got this guy. Now let's find out how to make a mana spreader. That is 6 living wood, gold ingot, and a petal. Go. And I didn't. Oh, I can make fence posts right here. I got enough wood for that. My mouse wheel is sometimes not cooperating. Making way too much because I only need 2. Let's 4. Okay, and I want to have the mana pool. Put it. Gotta make sure. Let's put it right here. And then think here. I'm laying out a pattern here that I'm gonna explain in 1 second, guys. But I think this is a start right here. Yeah, that should be good for now. We can always move this stuff around later. Nothing goes bad. The only thing that we would lose is whatever is in this mana pool. I don't think you keep that when you pick it up. This. Now this mana spreader, you can put however you want up there. I just like a fence post better. Alright, now it's pointing up, so it's not helpful, but we're gonna make something to move this around in a second. And the other thing I said we need to make is a day bloom, which is 2 yellow petals, light blue, and an orange. Let's see how many of these. Lots of yellow, orange, and light blue. And I'm just gonna turn all these into petals for now. If we would ever need the flowers again, I have so many more biomes that it should not be a problem. And of course we need seeds again. And I'd like to make as many as we can of these right now because they're really slow in generating mana, so the more the better. So let's start here with 2 yellow, 1 orange, 1 blue, and 1 seed. There's our first one. And I'm gonna make as many as I can, and then we'll set this up. Okay, so I made 12 of them for now. I don't know why they have some kind of stacking problem. Not sure what that is about. But in the book, it tells you that these day blooms, they use the sunlight in a modified photosynthesis process and turn it into mana. And it's rather slow. And I guess there is a lot of text missing here that I read before. And that's why I put this pattern here, because in the version that I tested it on, it said that if you have them directly next to each other, so let me show you what I mean. So if you have them like this, they lose a little bit of efficiency. Okay? So it is recommended to have them in a staggered pattern like this. And that's why I'm setting it up like that. I'm not sure if it makes a difference in this version or not, guys. I'm really sorry that I'm mixing those two up. Okay, and one more. Alright. I'm just gonna add some light here for now. There's a magnum torch over there, so nothing can spawn, but I like it when I have light around me. It makes it a little easier. I think also better for camera and the recording. So, now, because it's night, they don't make any mana right now. And we also need to make another tool so we can link these guys to that mana spreader and turn the mana spreader to the mana pool. And that is, where is it? Right here, I think. Oh, what is that called? Oh, come on. It's those branches. Where are they? Wand of the Forest. There we go. And that is made with 3 sticks and 2 petals. Okay. I can tell you guys right now that changes also that you need to use 6 out of that living wood. And you can use any color here. I have not found that it makes any difference in what color wood you have. And see now, as soon as I equipped it, now you can see energy and magical stuff going on. And you say now when I hover over the day bloom, it shows unknown status, because you need to same with this mana pool here. Until you don't click on it, on the things, it doesn't know the status. And you can also link items together. So what we're gonna do now is, I believe, right click this mana spreader, shift right click it, turn it here. Turn. I turn you. Oh. Okay. It shows here. Hover over this. Okay, I guess we should consult the book. So it is opposite of where I'm clicking. 50? That's a little far. Oh. Looks like this bloom is in the way. Move this guy one further over here. Wow, yeah, in the newer version, guys, this is a lot easier. You just shift click this guy and then shift click the mana spreader and it automatically connects. Alright, so accepting power. I'm gonna right click all these blooms here for a second just so we can always see how much they're producing. Alright, so now they're all linked. This is, I think, still not linked. Okay, guys, I'm gonna go back, sleep, so we have some daytime here. So we can actually see if the mana fills into it. Be right back. Okay, let's see. Okay, so it is filling with mana. I guess this is hitting it and you see that sparkly stream normal, and then it flashes every once in a while, and that is when it actually puts mana in here. And you can right click this mana spreader, and now it emptied. You saw it. So now this is starting to get mana. We got very little in it, and well, this is going, so that's nice. And you see when I hover over this mana Daybloom, get that hitbox around the mana spreader, and that shows you just that this is linked up to here. Again, in the new version, the same thing is with the mana pool. So if you would click on that, it would put a box around this. If you hover over this, it would put a box around that, so you can figure out what is all connected. So hopefully, in the next update or something, Lumason is gonna update the version of Botania for this also. That'd be really cool. So I think that is a good start for Botania. Next episode, we're gonna start using this mana that we're getting here for actual things to make in this mod, and start, if we we can grow other flowers to speed up the mana production and so on. But we'll get into that the next episode. Okay, guys, that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and if you did, really like a thumbs up. That'd be awesome. It helps the channel out a lot. And if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel to get updates about all my Let's Play series. And until next time, take care, everybody. Bye-bye.